He is ready to go. Staring in at Hargrove. Pitch on the way from Mikulášek.
Coach, all year you've taken down big opponent midweek, on the weekend, one after the other. Where did these kids get this resolve and that grit?
Well, Matty, the harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. And we've paid the ultimate price. These kids work. They have blood, sweat, and tears in the bucket. And that has built an expectation. When you have blood, sweat, and tears, there is an expectation. And these guys expect to win in everything they do. There is no hoping in our program. Hope for us means you're kind of prepared. We have punched the card every day for the last 2 years, relentlessly, good or bad. And the harder you work, the harder it is to surrender, and we got no surrender in us.
You know, going through my mind, it was, you know, what did we do wrong? Because we go from winning, I believe it was 13 straight at the beginning of conference to now we're getting swept at HBU.
It was a terrible bus ride home, I remember it. And nobody said a word. We didn't say a word when we got off the bus.
It almost in a sense brought us tighter, dropping those games, because it was a do or die point in our season.
We're looking at, hey, all we have to do is win this conference tournament, and that's our only chance in a regional. I think that was us just responding to everything that we've been through on the back half of the conference. That was us making it clear that we're not done yet. You know, we still got some fight left in us.
But the mindset we have going into Sugar Land is we win regardless of whether we have to or not.
Hey, this is the only way we're getting in a regional is if we win this tournament. But we always come out with the same intensity, like we're going to punch you in the mouth and we're going to keep coming. So it was a little added motivation since we had to win it for sure to make a regional. But overall, we were going to come out and do what we needed to do no matter what.
It kind of is a defining trait of the ball club and of you know, our program. Is there's nothing more important in your life that you'll ever do than to respond, and that's in the season, in the game. We hear it from Coach Deggs, and it trickles down throughout the ball club, and you see it in games like that. You know, that's a championship game. That's a great ball club at Central Arkansas, who swept us earlier in the year.
It gets your mind right and gets it straight whenever you realize, hey, you're possibly 1 loss or 2 losses away from going home, your season being over.
This is the championship game. If we lose, we're not going to a regional, and that's just not acceptable for us. So I think it's just one of those things that you just feel it in the dugout. You feel that edge just get a little bit sharper, and whatever it takes to get a run, and then that turns into 2 runs. And then we're handing it over to our bullpen with a 4-run lead. And at that point, you can just go ahead and book it, that Miko's going to come in and close it, and we're just going to roll on and do a regional.
We only enjoyed it that bus trip back, and as soon as we got off, it was time to get our minds right for our regional, wherever they were going to send us.
Just what Arizona did to us the year before, I think that like gave us a little bit more momentum going into it, that, hey, we owe these guys something.
Well, when I got put in the 8th, I didn't really have much time to think because it was a lefty, Matajevic, was on deck. So I'm up in the pen, and I think it was Demko was up. So I'm thinking, okay, if we go to someone, we're going to go to the lefty on lefty matchup. And then the phone rings, and they said my name, and I was like, I don't really have much time to get ready. I just got to go out there and do my thing. So, I mean, I just went out there, and I tried to attack him and, you know, make him beat me instead of giving them anything. So we just tried to make them work for it, play our game, just remain calm out there.
When we came back to face them the second time, it was do or die. We were fighting for our life. It could have been our last game. There was just a totally different focus, laser focus in that dugout that, you know, we're not going home. This isn't how it's going to end.
I wasn't nervous until we got 2 strikes and had 2 outs. And then it like just weighed down upon me, like, hey, you might get your dog pie for this pitch.
He is ready to go. Staring in at Hargrove. Pitch on the way from Mikolajczyk. Swing and a miss! Mikolajczyk gets the strikeout! And for the first time in school history, the Bearcats are going to the Super Regionals!
The greatest feeling I've ever felt in my life to just silence that crowd and like be able to only hear your brothers yell and excitement. So.
I'm so thankful to get to coach these young men. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I love them. I love them like family. I've always needed these guys way more than they've ever needed me. And we have built a bond that'll last a lifetime. I'm thankful for them. I'm thankful for their families. They come from incredible families. Thankful for our administration, our university, our community, and all the love and support that got us to this point. It was palpable. You could feel it. You could feel people pulling for us, and you could feel the love back home. This was a remarkable journey.